So we learned about the different types of communities. But if you are trying to build a community for your brand or business, how do you do it? What if you were, say, for example, selling something like furniture? Okay, so now that we know what are the different types of communities, what about building a community for yourself, right? But can all brands, can all businesses run communities? What if you're running something, say, like a furniture show, and you're trying to sell coffee tables or cupboards? Can you run a community around that? Now, here's an interesting example of a community that was actually built around a very similar situation. So let's find out about that. Right. So almost everyone has a coffee table in their house, probably has seen one. We all like coffee tables. But does that interest or that liking of coffee tables, or the fact that we have that shared experience of having a coffee table, or that shared interest of having a coffee table, does that qualify as being a community, right? It's a segment of people. There is some form of relationship and you all like coffee tables. But does that mean that that's a community? Can you build a community around that? Not exactly. You might have to tweak it a little bit. Now, this is a thing think about one of the most largest brands in the business of furniture, and that's IKEA, right? The Swedish company, IKEA. And IKEA was, in a similar situation, but they were selling furniture. We all know that they're selling furniture, but they decided to, build their community not just about the brand or the product, but about the market. Who were the kind of people that were buying these coffee tables, right? Who were the people that were buying coffee tables? And that's when they launched, this was a campaign that was launched along with Ogilvy. So Ogilvy and IKEA together came up with something called IKEA Share Space. So they realized that it is not about getting people to talk about the coffee table or the cupboards, but instead the commonality or the shared interest that they all shared was the fact that they all wanted a nice place to stay in, right? So in Share Space, what people could do is they could upload images of their houses. So their interior designing, they could show off their interior designing, and they built a huge community around that. And the Share Space campaign, the marketing campaign, was insanely successful for IKEA and Ogilvy for that matter. So this just shows that, you don't need to build your community around that particular product, which is your coffee table, but you can build it around the market, right? Which is interior design lovers, interior design enthusiasts, fans of creating a nice, homely experience. Now, this is important to understand. Successful businesses, they don't focus on the product. They focus on the market. Now, this is the same, for example, with a brand like Chanel, right? It's much easier to give you the difference between a product and the market here. On the left, that's a different product. On the right, that's a different product. But Chanel is focusing not on the product, but on the customer. It changes its clothing, it changes its product according to the season, according to the trend. And that's why Chanel and all clothing brands are so successful. It's those brands and businesses that focus on the market, focus on the trends, focus on the season and how the market is feeling, rather than just pushing their product.